欢迎来到308高地，每个礼拜四的晚上7点半，我们都在这里跟你一起讨论、分享，跟台湾相关的地缘政治、区域安全、外交、军事的消息。那我们上个礼拜邀请到好朋友 Tony 跟 Topher 来到这里来聊一聊菲律宾在我们台湾的南边这么重要的邻国，以及中国在这个区域的不管是 Gray Zone Coercion 灰色地带的胁迫，或者在南海在西太平洋地带造成的冲突，那菲律宾的角色，以及台湾该怎么跟菲律宾强化彼此的关系，那大家是一个利益与共。那在更大的层面来讲，我们还可以讨论到日本啦、美国啦，在第一岛链西太平洋，我们怎么样让这个区域更稳定、更和平。所以，我们今天再一次邀请到 Uncle Topher 还有 Tony 来到我们的节目里面。那这两位是专家。我是来跟他们学习上课的哈，可以学英文哈，还可以学战略，还可以学军事的专业哈。希望你喜欢我们的邀请。那我们在308高地所有的donate，我们都会保留起来，作为国军弟兄姐妹，因为演训任务发生不幸意外的时候，我们会全数用在那上面。我们所有的制作成本费用，我们会另外去处理，完全不会动用到你的donate哈。也谢谢你。每个礼拜收看我们的节目，那记得要订阅、按赞、分享、开启小铃铛。maybe 我们可以留在那个有个地图的，有菲律宾、台湾跟中国的地图哈，看有没有另外一张比较近的哈。Look at the map. My first question is those military deploy in Philippines.
This one,
yeah, this one, and. If United States plan to do something from those military bases located in Philippines, do they need permission from Philippines government?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's already agreed upon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I fully believe that if China attacks Taiwan, it's gonna have to somehow go against U.S. forces both in the Philippines and in Japan, because they can't win without trying to remove U.S. ability to.
Look at the map.
Yeah.
Hainan Island.
Yeah.
It's China major fleet headquarters and submarine headquarters.
Yep.
And a little bit north will be Santou. Is their
in Guangdong
South Theater.
Yeah.
Commanding post.
Headquarters.
So if they try to project their military resources from this spot toward Taiwan, they need to make sure, Cagayan and Isabela, Zambales,
yeah,
those provinces is United States military base well located.
Yeah,
so they need to make sure you don't do anything to me. Otherwise, their side will be exposed totally.
Right. So at that point, you're looking at area denial. United States begin to implement area denial. They were trying to deny the area to United States, but because the new strategic relocation and planning that the United States have done in the last 10 years to counter China's A2AD strategy, we can actually reverse that A2AD strategy against China in that area.
Yeah, if we talk about A2AD, it kind of try to deny foreign interference. But you are there already. You are standing
inside already.
Yeah, inside already. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, and they can't do it.
So, Topher, what's your opinion about this?
I mean, there's not much that China. There's not too many strategies that China has available. I mean,
the line. The line is China claim their territory water. Everyone inside the line.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
You know, and within this, I know we're talking a lot about the Philippines, but they have bullied Vietnam just as much, and sometimes even worse.
Yeah.
I think Vietnam's had a couple of fishermen been killed.
They attack their oil platform near Vietnam. They attack China. PLA attack that.
Yeah. The first time I saw this map, okay, I was actually in China, in Beijing, in their MND Baiyi building.
Oh.
You know, the line, if I may, the line actually goes down to here.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to be careful here.
No worries.
Yeah, they actually go down to the Indonesian Natuna Island.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's absurd.
It's absurd. And so this line actually...
it's changeable.
yeah.
Well, this is a strategy that they do on land as well. It's called salami slicing.
Yeah.
Salami is like a long piece of meat.
And cut it.
With each map they publish, they change the border a little bit, a little bit, a little bit.
I think Indonesia complained, hey, Natuna Island is mine. What do you mean? So this line actually got a little too far north. Actually comes down a little bit just off the Natuna Island. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, this is the 9-dash. I think they have published a 10-dash line.
Or 11-dash, all the way cover the side of Taiwan.
It doesn't
yeah.
No matter how many dashes.
Yeah, it's absurd.
It's ridiculous.
It's against the international law.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you know, since World War II, the whole world, humanity has seen just a very long period of incredible peace and prosperity across the world. And that is because the nations abide by the law, they abide by the world order, and China is stepping all over that. They're ignoring it. It's causing problems.
Yeah, so many, it's not island actually.
Yeah, man-made
island in this region.
You know, shoals, yeah.
What's happening now is China using their militia, hundreds of militia fishing.
Oh yeah,
fishing boats,
the Third Navy,
and little blue men, and their Coast Guard, but their Coast Guard equipped with missiles.
Oh, yeah.
Coast Guard,
Big
Navy,
ships.
and missiles, air fighters in this region, and they're using last week 50 boats, and a couple months ago 200 boats to harass Philippines EEZ. And the Philippines people, they demonstrate a protest in front of China embassy in Manila. So China using this 9-dash, 10-dash, or how many dash to claim this water is their territory, actually angered individual country in this region. Got no friends here. So if China plan to launch an invasion toward Taiwan or toward Philippines, they need to, what they need to do first is to make sure United States will stay calm. You won't interfere. They need to get a green light from this. Otherwise, it's not easy to launch an invasion toward Taiwan.
No. Even if they use their hundreds of militia boats and fishing boats to try and confuse radar systems, the U.S. intelligence gathering is so good from satellites, from low orbit aircraft. It will easily pinpoint what ships are actually a threat and which is a fishing ship.
Does American soldiers allowed to attack civilian boats, civilian vehicle, or militia boat, a militia vehicle during your service in Middle East? It's a stand, it's a pickup.
If it's a pickup that has a 50 cal machine gun on it,
you can attack
then if it's a pickup with a bunch of guys shooting AK-47s out the back.
Do they need to shoot first, then you can kill?
Depends on the rule of engagement.
Like you need to basically feel threatened.
Yeah.
At least the rules of engagement at that time. And there was a rule of law set that, you know, hey, don't ride around pickup trucks with AK-47s.
See, this is, if the war's going on and it's weapons-free rules of engagement, a civilian person picks up a gun, he's a combatant, you can shoot him.
Yeah, he's a combatant at that
If he doesn't have a gun and he's peaceful, you cannot shoot him, it's against the law. So same thing you can apply to this thing, okay? China's military militia, or maritime militia, if it's a fishing boat, it's fishing, it matches the role that it's playing. But when it forms up with the Coast Guard's order, conducting a type of operation that affects the normal operation of other activities, I think the world, the law-abiding world, need to come up with a rule saying when you change your role, then you get treated based on the role that you assumed. When that guy pick up the gun, you assume the role of a combatant. When your ship is not doing fishing, you assume the role of a semi-military mission. When you form up, try to form a blockade or pressure somebody. When a cargo ship drop its anchor and try to cut your cable, it's affecting your national critical infrastructure. You're attacking my country.
It's not civilian cargo anymore.
You're not doing it. You're doing a military mission. You're attacking me. Therefore, I can attack you, including sinking you. I think this is the type of rules. Right now, Russia is getting away with, up in North Seas, they're cutting those cables, those Russian ships just drop the anchor, cut cable. They are getting away with it. Therefore, I believe the free world needs to have the policy. If you're a cargo ship, shipping cargo, perfect.
I should bring your phrases back to my committee. If they try to cut off our sea cables, we can sink them.
You're attacking my critical infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
You're attacking me. If you're attacking me with your anchor, I can attack you with my gun, with my cannon, with my torpedo. So I think this needs to be a policy that's publicized.
Yeah.
You cannot surprise them. Taiwan, as a country, can publish a policy. Listen, if you do this, I'm going to do this.
If you damage our sea cable on purpose, then you are the target.
Yeah, and most times those cables are not near a port where you need to drop the anchor, right?
Yeah.
So if you're out there circling, looking for the cable with your then sorry, I'm going to have to.
Well, yeah, they're all in no anchor drop points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's published.
It's published.
The ships know that they're not
exactly.
supposed to drop in. I think it should fall under established anti-piracy laws.
Sure.
Like it's not much different than pirates on the Horn of Africa, or even Houthi rebels shooting missiles in the Red Sea.
You become public enemy. Everybody can shoot you.
Why we discuss about this? 我们把地图换到那个日本菲律宾新设基地移到那边 because this issue related to Taiwan and the Philippines.
Sure.
China using maritime militia, pretending fisher boat to harass our territory water.
Sure.
Territory water, not easy.
Yeah.
In Kimoy Island, territory water.
Because they fake their civilian fishing
They
boat.
pretend that they are fishermen. We are civilian. We can do anything we want. You cannot shoot me. So this we call gray zone coercion.
Right.
And sometimes it's real fish boat. But within dozens of fish boat, there will be a 渔政船. They are not Coast Guard. Some kind of
the administrative region,
something like that. It's like some militia boat control these dozens of fishing boats, like a group. So those dozens of boats, they are civilian, but under control and command by one certain militia boat.
Right.
And 10 of this group will be 120. A militia or pretending militia boat to harass your territory water.
Right.
And behind that will be their Coast Guard, Navy, and then push forward. Then squeeze your room to response. If you still serve in military, what's your ROE? What's your rule of engagement toward this? This is very typical POA tactics.
Yeah, right now there's not much you can do.
Now, well, you try to go out and arrest those crew. You have to board them. It's difficult. They'll run away. There was an incident last year where a Chinese
tipped over.
In Philippines, they surround you.
Yeah.
For weeks, they surround you.
That's because there's no a published data policy, because you have to take the gray of the gray zone out of the gray. This is a criminal act.
Yeah, exactly.
This is an act of war. You need to take that gray out, okay? Because right now they hide between that criminal act and the act of war. They're in between. You don't know what it is, okay? So they can get away with it. So the law-abiding world, the rule-based world need to come up with a rule on this type of things so that they cannot hide in what we call gray zone anymore, because it's no longer gray. When you're fishing, you're a civilian fishing boat. When you form up under somebody's control and conducting activity that's not consistent with fishing, sorry, you are conducting a military operation, therefore you will be treated as military. If we have to ram you or something.
Even you are a fishing boat. You cannot fish in some
Right.
countries' territory water.
Right.
Yeah, within territory
But they're
water.
using quantity to harass you, to make you do something wrong.
I think technology might also form a solution. I recently was watching a video about how a company had developed basically very small torpedo drones, underwater drones, that specifically target the engines. So it's a non-lethal torpedo. The small
Only kill
explosion
engine.
head just destroys the engine. I think something like that, which could be very cheap to manufacture, would be a perfect solution. Yeah, hey, you're fishing in our waters.
Commercialized or just new invention?
It was a new invention. I'll send you the link once I find it.
And also another tool that we have, which is using sound wave. You know, the sound wave that drives people crazy. So you can drive them away when they form up.
Like a rat or mosquitoes.
Oh,
Right.
the Marines have this. It's an interesting sonic weapon.
So it's a crowd disperser.
Right.
As Marines use it, and we use it for if somebody's going to attack the Pentagon.
You have that?
United States have that actually
like
ready to
a
go.
missile
We should get that.
It makes your whole body vibrate and you can't stand it. You just want to get away. That type of things, non-lethal, may be a way to disperse this type of gray zone
You
activities.
should provide these equipments to Philippines.
We should.
Yeah, let's.
Hey, all it needs is electricity. You get a boat, you know, any of the cutter can have enough electricity to generate and use this sound wave device. Another thing is microwave device, which heats up your skin and drive people. That's crowd dispersal system. I think it might work for this type of gray zone activities. And Taiwan should get some.
Yeah, we should get some. They're always doing this.
Exactly.
And, I feel sorry for what Philippines they are facing.
Oh
Oh yeah, they've been bullied so badly.
Their people try to get fish.
Their livelihood.
That's their life. They try to catch some fish and for living. And China using their militia, hundreds of boats to surround them and harass them, arrest them, and sometimes using their Coast Guard, damage their boat to get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's their water.
Yes.
Philippines, their own fishermen cannot catch fish in their own water.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So it's not only ridiculous. It's totally bully.
Yeah, it's wrong.
As a civilized country, no one should do this.
I agree.
So Philippines under this kind of coercion for the past several years, and their mainstream, their people, quite angry about this. And Taiwan, we are suffer from almost the same situation. So maybe this is something we can work together.
Yeah, cooperate on.
Yeah, we can provide this sine wave and
anti-gray zone. Yeah.
Yeah, anti-gray zone. So look at this map. 9 Philippine military bases provide United and if you look at it, majorly is Air Force Base and Navy. Navy, and there is a brigade of Marines, American Marines, deployed there.
Right.
And Fort Magsaysay. Magsaysay is quite interesting military base because it's old. It's an old one. It's huge.
It's humongous. It's humongous.
And what I know, United States has made Fort Magsaysay become the largest training camp.
It is.
In Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, that's what we do, our jungle survival training and many of the stuff. I've been there once, but I've seen a very tiny part of it because I look at the map. It's humongous.
It's so big. So You know, I have a chance to talk with some high-rank officer in Pentagon recently. I say, okay, Taiwan is not secret. We send 2 battalions every year to be trained in Michigan, in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Why not Fort Magsaysay? The weather, the jungle, the terrains, very similar with Taiwan, and it's close.
Yeah.
It's very effective and in comparative low cost. So maybe Tony can introduce this military base you have visited.
Well, I've been to Basa, number 2.
Air Force Base.
Yeah, Basa Air Force Base is a very good base. United States, a year and a half ago, repaved the entire runway to make it modernized and build hangars and stuff. And we have deployed there with our F-22 and F-16s. So Basa Air Base is very important. It's right next to the Clark Air Base. It's actually just west of Clark Air Base by about less than 50 kilometers. So it's not even far, very far. Yeah, so I've been to MAC-10 Air Base, the down south in Cebu. It's a big C-130 base. It's a big transport base, very big runway. And that will be our, how should I put it, our forward deploy point, where we consolidate everything as they get dispersed, even distributed, because that has a lot of storage area also. And I have not been to the 3 red ones up north.
That's a new.
Those are new in the new, and like I said, but I do know that the camp is actually De La Cruz. The last portion of the name didn't show up. The number 8, the Army base is where we have built a lot of munitions bunkers, the new munitions bunker, and the road that goes from there to Lalao Air Force Base, and also
Air Force.
So it's also Camilo Osais Naval Base. That there are roads because your munition stuff needs to go to those locations. So that number 8, that camp is actually a huge war reserve storage location to support any type of war effort in the Philippines or Taiwan.
So this 9 military base, if you look at the bigger picture, it's so close to Taiwan. And
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If we notice what United States have done in Philippines and what they have done in Japan, almost the same scenario.
Very similar.
Distance is short and dispersed, and the pre-storage equipment arsenal demands in all these islands. What's the United States plan in this region?
Well, right now we're hoping Japanese will do more Yonaguni, Igasaki. Those islands, as you know, Japanese are building up their own anti-ship system, that their own Type 12 missiles are going out there.
It's what 1,200
kilometer range. So it covers a lot of stuff. And China's Northern Fleet, if they can come down on the Taiwan scenario, they're going to be faced with a lot of resistance. And of course, Okinawa. In Kadena, there's a humongous war reserve material storage also. If you look at from the satellite map, you can sort of figure out where they're located, but it's a huge area of munition storage area. So basically, United States is trying to help Taiwan on the north and the south. Okay.
And do you remember last time we talked about North Mariana?
Yeah, sure.
Tiananmen
and Guam. Yeah.
So I'm a student here. I try to learn some wheat from your expertise. Look, now the last time we talked about North Mariana, Guam Island, those dispersed deployment.
Right.
And this week, we just talked about the 9 military bases. Philippines provide or United States request, for the American military use. And if we take a close look at Okinawa and those islands surrounding Taiwan, Topher, what's the big picture? What's the plan here?
Well, it goes back to that ACE strategy, right? Agile combat engagement. That there's no one big base that China can target to disrupt U.S. operations within the Indo-Pacific region. That they have to target well over a dozen at the same time to have any hope, and that's just beyond their capabilities. I also think it's extraordinarily significant that Japan has a regional access agreement with the Philippines. Yeah. Japan's constitution says that they have a
some kind of treaty.
Yeah.
They got acquisition cross-services agreement and reciprocal
they can use
access
their
agreement.
access.
RAA.
Yeah, and Japan's constitution says that their military can only be used for self-defense, that it's a self-defense force.
They just adjust the definition of self-defense a couple years ago.
Yes, that's what it's called.
They revised their national strategy.
Clearly, they believe, and I think correctly that they believe, that it is within Japan's self-defense to be able to aid the Philippines, that the Philippines' defense is the same as Japan's defense.
What I realized, Japanese government, they revised their national security strategy since Abe administration to Kishida. And this adjustment majorly talk about first self-defense, the definition. If allies like United States got attacked, they can send their self-defense military to help. If the surrounding environment, what happening, danger Japanese their national security. And the danger layer they call 存续, danger their life and survive. They can deploy their self-defense.
That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key.
When we talk about they revise the strategy of the Japanese national security, what is the surrounding environment? Is your surrounding environment including Taiwan?
Well, yeah, between Japan and the Philippines.
So this is the point I learned during last month when we have the regional tabletop exercise in Taiwan, where Japan had two 4-stars participated, retired 4-stars, and that's what I learned from them, where they see their national security now in a regional sense. In a regional sense. This
is supposed to be highlight for today's show.
Yeah, they see
it's a huge change.
It's a huge change, humongous change.
Very proactive.
And if I may supplement what Topher just said, when you say what is the significance, of all these bases in Japan?
Yeah, we will see all these dispersed, all these arrangements. What's the big plan?
So the big plan is Indo-Pacific Commander has his Pacific-based forces, using agile combat employment. When we see a threat, those forces will deploy to all these locations in the Pacific. But his forces alone is not going to quickly win the war. So when we talk about Tinian and stuff, those are locations for follow-on forces from the States, from mainland United States. So there are many islands, including Hawaii and Guam, will prepare follow-on forces to supplement the Indo-Pacific forces who are forward deployed to this particular areas of operation. So, but the long-range forces at the follow-on location will strike, but these are the forces that will supplement and push up. When they move forward, then we dominate the enemy that we win. Because the initial element usually will just hold, because the Chinese will have the advantage because they are here already. They can.
So you need standing force.
You need standing forces to block it. Then you need follow-on force to knock it out, to win. So that's the big picture, and it's no secret. I mean, that's in our documents on the phases of war, how we execute warfare. So that's the importance when we talk about Tinian, Guam, and the other islands that's in that region.
Yeah, so Japan revised their national security strategy, and those who jeopardize, endanger Japan national security, life matters, they can send out their self-defense troops. And according to what Tony just said, Japan, they changed their concept. Now they have regional
interest
concept, because they revised their principles. surrounding environment. And what is surrounding environment? Milk Strait, Taiwan Strait, South China Sea, Philippines, and if we using law, what they have done recently, sign contract with Philippines, provide 6 retired destroyers to Philippines, try to equip Philippines to deter China's coercion, and to match this with the strategy, the national strategy, the security strategy they revised. Yeah, we know they're big plan. They try to form a secured environment in this region. So Topher, look at the map and look at this dispersal military bases. As a soldier, what's your point of view?
Well, yeah, I completely agree that it is a strategy designed for maximum flexibility on the part of the U.S. allies, well, the regional allies, because it's not just messing with Taiwan, you're messing with Japan, you're messing with South Korea, the Philippines, and the follow-on forces of Australia, the follow-on forces coming from Guam and Hawaii and Alaska. You know, one aspect that we haven't talked about yet, we talked about the ground-based missile launchers that are capable, and the fighter jets, which are capable, and the Navy, which is there. But the weapon systems are constantly being developed. And there's a weapon system now called the Rapid Dragon that the U.S. has, which turns any cargo aircraft,
C-130
or C-17s, yeah, the Globemasters, any of these cargo aircraft are now capable of launching dozens and dozens of
Barracuda missiles.
Become a precision bomber.
Precision stealth cruise missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these are called LRASM missiles. They're very expensive, but China doesn't have a defense against these missiles. They're impossible.
These ships will be in trouble.
Yeah, they're ships. Now, well, one LRASM or JASM missile, which can be launched out of these cargo aircraft, any cargo aircraft that's flying in between Okinawa, Philippines, Guam, and these are routine flights that are happening daily. Any of these could actually be a bombing platform. Now, one of these missiles might not destroy a Chinese craft, but it can render it out of the fight. Yeah.
So, does China has any approach to counter this?
Their air defense isn't sophisticated enough to deal with more than 3 missiles coming at it at a time. And I don't think they can even detect these JASM and LRASM.
Some of these are such low radar cross sections.
But even they attack one of those dozen military bases, even they attack one of them successfully, it means nothing.
It's nothing.
Sure.
The forces are dispersed.
Sure.
Well,
if in a hypothetical situation they do a big missile launch, big missile barrage, air defense will first take care of any missiles that are actually a threat. Air defense won't even bother to shoot down the Chinese missiles that they know are going to land off course out in the middle of the sea. So a big percentage of the missiles launched will be rendered useless before they even impact. And the forces will be the American and Allied forces will be so dispersed that the initial barrage won't have a crippling effect. All it will do will notify exactly where they were shot from, the point of origin, you know, making them vulnerable to counterfire.
How will you interpret the statement made by Hexas? Hexas has a tour in Indo-Pacific region.
Right.
And just before his departure toward to this region, there is a memo released to press, to media, and no one denied that. They say they are ready to have a fight with China.
Yeah.
They are ready to have, they need to protect domestic territory. And Taiwan is their core interest. Damage Taiwan going to damage United States interest severely.
Severely, absolutely.
So
yeah.
the Hexas said has a preparation or readiness a fight with China, and at the same time protect home, the territory. How will you interpret this statement?
I think that Hegseth and the current administration knows that the biggest threat to world peace right now is China. And they're not trying to tiptoe or mince words about it. I don't agree with everything that the current American administration is doing, but I think that their approach towards strengthening the U.S. might is a good idea. They believe in peace through strength. That's something I also believe in. I think that it works. I think history has proven that it works. So I think that his words are something that everyone should take very seriously.
Yeah, I read a lot of article during Reagan's administration. Strength, through strength, the peace is real.
It's real.
It's real. And just like last time we talked about Marcos and Duterte, different approach to manage relationship with China, and the outcome will be totally different.
Didn't work.
So I want to ask Tony, because Tony, you used to be the officer in Pentagon, and you are in charge of the security issue in this region. What I learned here is, allies, democracies led by United States try to establish a rapid response arsenal in this region, and they deploy this deployment in Philippines. So choosing Philippines as this kind of arsenal center, why? Why Philippines? One island behind, and Taiwan, Okinawa, Japan, Philippines, and Australia down south here. And there is an empty, a lot of small island in this Philippine Sea or West Pacific Ocean. Why United States pick up Philippines as this arsenal center?
I think mainly it's because Philippines has a lot of land space. If you look at Japan, the islands near Taiwan, there isn't a lot of land space. Although if you get on satellite and see Kadena Air Base, we have a huge location where we can pre-position stuff. But right now, Philippines, just because where it locates, which is near Taiwan, and also the availability of space, I think that's the key. And if I may touch on what you mentioned earlier about Secretary of Defense Hexas said, we also should look at what Indo-Pacific Commander Admiral Paparo said. He has repeated, confirmed, defending this area is my job, and I'm assure you I can do my job. Okay?
He make a speech in some think tank, Atlantic Council or something like that. Last November, and he make a claim. He, according to the law, he need to do the protection in this region.
And he can perform that job. He's very confident that he can do that. And I think his confidence comes from the fact that he's seen what we have, and he's seen the exercise, and he's seen the coalition building that we have been able to accomplish in the region. So I also have no doubt that if China ever decides to do something foolish, that they can win. The United States will be able to help defend Taiwan.
China cannot win.
They cannot win.
And the price will be Xi Jinping's chair.
It'd be huge.
If he loses the war.
The political implication, will be greater than the military implication.
Vastly.
And but I want to ask a question. Actually, a lot of doubt from Taiwanese people. You two guys serve in American military. Will political situation influence your continuity or consistency? Because Pentagon, Indo-Pacific Command Center, they have their policy, they have their strategy, they have their scenario setting to do something in this region. Will that be changed if the president changed? Or there is some steadfast continuity?
The view of the importance of Taiwan to U.S. national security strategy, I think that's consistent. I mean, I was basically 27 years in the military and additional 7 or more years as a civilian, and went through all these different changes of presidents, Republicans, Democrats. I don't believe at any time that the policy toward Taiwan has actually changed.
The trend.
The trend is consistent, and because of the importance of Taiwan, mainly because if the United States is unable to help protect this democracy, then the reputation of the United States will be so gravely damaged that the countries in the region will no longer trust us. That's the assessment. If we cannot defend Taiwan from China, then we will lose the faith of the Filipinos, the Thailand, Vietnam. Everybody else will have no reason to believe the United States can stop China against them. Okay? Therefore, they will lean toward China for their own national security. So it is, like we mentioned, a domino effect. Okay? United States, ever since I went from the missile field into the Pentagon and learned about these more regional security issues, we have never changed. And I don't believe we would.
So your career, you're 27-year-old.
35, almost 35 years.
35 years service in your government. You are sure the change of the administration, the president election won't change the long-term,
the core U.S. interest in the Pacific. It doesn't change. You might have a little bit of deviation, but when it hit the bottom line, if China ever attacks, I don't see anything changing. The United States will be here.
Yeah, because I noticed Paparo's words or Davis and Phillips' words, and Harrison.
It's consistent.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
No matter who is president. So Topher.
It's one of the only issues in American politics which both sides of the aisle agree on.
Yeah.
Right. The defense of Taiwan is not only crucial to it's especially crucial to the U.S., but it's crucial to the entire world. If Taiwan falls to the Chinese, then the entire world's economy and technology is severely hindered, set back decades.
Yeah.
It's real bad news.
Once China control or occupy Taiwan, that means Japanese need to follow their words.
Well, that's just...
Or they develop nuclear weapon to protect themselves.
And like Tony was talking about, people will lose trust in the U.S. The long-term effect to that is, and this might get to like economic theory, but the U.S. could potentially lose the dollar as the reserve currency if it fails to protect Taiwan. They lose trust in the U.S. military. Okay, well, why aren't we trading in the RMB now?
Yeah, now China becomes #1.
So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense now.
Under the U.S., the word is, what is it? Hegemony. Right? Under the U.S. world order, the world has prospered. It's been extraordinarily peaceful. I know that with social media and the news, it doesn't seem like that, but no two major world powers have gone to war with each other in 80 years.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But let me move a little bit deeper. About Philippines.
Okay.
If United States pick up Philippines as the arsenal center, something like that, will Philippines' political situation interfere the constituency of this, 9 military bases or 10 military bases? They stopped that decades ago. And how United States has some kind of insurance policy to make sure all these contracts signed between United States and the Philippine government can be effective in the long term. When you establish an arsenal, storage, warehouse, Air Force base, Navy, Army, things like that. Yeah, United States has proved in long-term continuity and consistency. It's trustworthy.
Yes.
How about Philippines? How can you ensure that?
I read a poll before coming on the show today, and the Philippine people, the Filipinos, 65% trust the U.S. 12% trust China. Right? So yeah, if they have to choose between the two superpowers, in the eyes of the Filipinos, neither are perfect, but nearly 5 times better, right? The U.S.
Yeah.
So I think politically, it's not popular to go against the U.S., and it would be very unpopular to side with the country which has been bullying your fishermen and forcing your fishing nation to import fish. So
yeah, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
And besides that, Philippines try to strengthen their self-defense capability.
yeah,
And this military base provided to United States, put those military assets in Philippines, can secure Philippines' security,
yeah, helps with
can
it.
deter those threats away.
Deterrence is
That
exactly
means
it.
their national interest, but sometimes Philippines, they have their own culture, their own political philosophy.
Yeah.
So what you just raised is a great question and great issue. Philippines is a large country with thousands of islands, okay? It is a democracy, just like Taiwan. Unfortunately, Philippines' democracy is not as mature as Taiwan's. They are easily influenced by China. The election interference in the Philippines by China is rampant. China can throw a lot of money, and you saw that Chinese citizen became a mayor.
She is a spy.
She's
not Filipino. She's
plus
not
she's-
even citizen of Philippines. Just pretend
and operating an
and
illegal
elected as
business.
a mayor and
Yeah.
doing some illegal business as a mayor.
Exactly. You can do it to that point that you understand
Like a movie.
how corrupt the system and how easily manipulated that system can be by money, which
Yeah.
China has. So your question actually should be United States and Filipino government both should be worried because it doesn't reflect the true leaning of the people. Because
Yeah.
this changes the entire situation. They use democracy against you, against democracy. So this is danger. Will the next government after Bongbong Marcos be a pro-China government that was elected because of election interference? We don't know. But there's certainly something I hope the Philippines government can guard against. It's going to be very difficult to guard against. I mean, even Taiwan, you see this Chinese influence in Taiwan's own election. If you can imagine a country with thousands of islands.
China tried to penetrate the first island chain, expand their influence in military, in territory. Of course, they do hybrid warfare in this region.
Of course.
Yeah, they try to influence all the recognition in all this open society. So, my last question, and we will see each other, I hope, every week.
Okay.
But my last question about the show, we talk about this topic today. Papalaro, the commander of Indo-PACOM, he said, PLA military exercise join the patrolling activities toward Taiwan. It's not a drill. It's a rehearsal.
Yeah, it's practice.
The People's Republic of China has embarked on a dangerous course and are on a dangerous course. Their aggressive maneuver around Taiwan right now are not exercises, as they call them. They are rehearsals. They are rehearsals for the forced unification of Taiwan to the mainland. Beijing's military buildup, their gray zone operations, their military coercion against Taiwan grow more concerning every day.
It's practice for some real plan, some invasion plan. It's not a military drill to practice your skill, technology, nothing like that. First, do you agree Paparo's words about this? PLA's military activities is not drill, it's a rehearsal. And what's the rehearsal? The big plan. What's the big plan of PLA? And how the country in this region, including Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, and the United States, to deter this ambition? So maybe Tony first.
Well, it's hard to deter. Their international airspace, international sea space, they can do what they want. Okay. The reason Paparo says that, I believe, is because we do that. For our Pacific War Plan, we do different exercises, but they all are usually a part of the bigger war plan. But we don't want to show the war plan. So we have this exercise doing here. We even have some United States West Coast exercise, actually deploy troops and stuff exercise that is part of the larger war plan. So certainly you want to do those things that's in your war plan day to day, then train toward it. When it's real war, you put all these pieces together. That transportation, that cargo squadron knows what it's supposed to do and be able to do a flight of 10 hours that way, even though you flew to Alaska, but in real life, when something happens, it's coming to the Pacific area, for example, tanker aircraft, fighter aircraft, do certain deployments, do certain things, and have imaginary enemies that flies Chinese tactics, okay? So I think what Paparo is saying is because we do that, and we fully expect China is doing the same thing, okay? As long as you do in international airspace, there's not much rest of us can do. So let them practice, but you observe, and I think Taiwan needs to say, okay, if they turn to us, what are the systems that we can use to knock it down? And day to day, you monitor as they do their things. You don't have to have airplane or ships out there every time. You make sure he knows you're watching by lighting up with radar, for example. The radar warning receiver lights up, say, oh, okay, Taiwan's watching me. I think that's enough. But as long as you watch them and make them nervous, and there's not much else I think Taiwan can do.
You know, once I realized through the press conference, your general, chief general, he said there are two guys study Iranians tunnel, the nuclear facilities for 15 years, only study for one thing, and make the bomb. Then I think those rehearsal, you have some certain guys study on this topic.
The China team at Detroit is huge.
Yeah.
Okay. We have guys that study nothing but leadership, nothing but military systems, and it's separating to services and command and control, communication, and
maybe those dispersal arrangement, those military places, and those island you deploy some middle range missiles based on the study there.
Certainly, and all these places are geolocated, tied down where the Chinese center of gravities are, because every week, and you know this, and Taiwan radar sees it, our RC-135 goes along the Chinese coast collecting. They're not sitting there just to fly. They're collecting all the information. Okay, you know, got an emitter here and who it is, and also other sources from space and from other locations. They combine all this stuff together. So United States does a pretty good job. The Gulf War, before we started January 16th, the ground war, that, you know, we already got every location figured out and which one strike using what, and something else can make that ineffective, or we had to have a bomb right there. All that was already on the target list before day one. You know, so from that, I don't want to divulge classified, but from that you should expect similar type of preparation. for such important thing for the United States, that ensuring if China ever do something stupid that we have to win. There is no losing. No option to lose. United States will win and must win. So if you can imagine the disclosure about Iran, I can assure you the China team is huge, and these are
not only two guys.
And these are civilians. They don't get transferred.
Oh.
Okay, they stay in that position
for 15 years. Do one thing.
Sometimes more. The guy that studied the leadership when I was there, he's been in position forever. He can tell me how Xi Jinping started, and he read all the things that Xi Jinping wrote, and you know,
the handwriting style.
Oh my God! So actually, I need to be careful what I say, but we have teams.
Yeah. So
teams.
Topher, what's your point of view about this?
Well,
statement?
you know, when Paparo makes these speeches, he's speaking to reporters, he's speaking to U.S. congressmen. You know, that's the message that this is headed toward. And it's basically to explain how serious the threat is. And it is extremely serious. But me personally, I feel that as far as China's like blockading exercises that they did, is Operation Joint Swords, so far this year I don't think they've named any of them. I think they've just shown, but regardless, if these exercises lasted a week, I would be much more impressed. But they typically last less than a day. So for me, it's a show of force. It's propaganda. It's bullying. Because China's real weapon in this Cold War against Taiwan and against the Philippines and even South Korea and Japan, it's propaganda. It's coercion. It's trying to use media, free speech, social media to change the minds of voters. Well, like what we were talking about before with the Philippines. They try to
influence the law-making system.
It's a brilliant strategy, and I have to give it to them. Like, if you can turn your enemy's strength into a weakness, that's what you should do, and that's what you do with a democracy. If you want to defeat a democracy, convince the voting populace to vote against their own interests. So, I think on one hand, these exercises are extremely impressive. But on the other hand, they're not as impressive as they could be.
I watch it, Uncle Topher's. You mentioned 5 major threats. It's quite, to me, I think it's the lesson we need to learn. And time is limited. And I hope you two can do some study about our coming Hanguang 41 military exercises.
Right, yeah.
It's our largest major scale of military exercise, and especially this year there are some new elements, especially for cooperation with allies, civilian mobilization, and something like that. And maybe next time I can ask some question, learn something from you too. Okay, and I hope Topher's shoulder get better.
It'll eventually get better.
Next time, do some punches to show us you are back. OK， 我们今天很高兴邀请到 Topher 跟 Tony 来到308高地哈，连续2个礼拜，我们从菲律宾的角度一直看印太地区，美国、台湾、日本，大家息息相关。那个不是谁有事，另外一个人就有事的概念，而是在这个区域，我们大家都是利益与共哈，安全与共。那希望能够创造一个嚇阻力量。那我们今天也提到很多有关菲律宾的问题，也希望菲律宾的朋友 ，I hope if you are Philippines, you live in Philippines or you are friends, you are Filipino, live in Taiwan, and you watch our show, leave some message to us, and I would like to hear your voice. OK， 那我们今天很高兴，谢谢 Topher 还有 Tony。Thank you. These two good friends, my teachers. And 我们下个礼拜4的晚上7点半，王定宇在308高地，下次再会，拜拜，
拜拜。